Coach Sheldon Harrison. There never been no comparison. You're live on the show. Sit back and have a listen. All right. LD MMAC. There's your boy Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Combat Sports Show live. Okay, guys. We all knew that Cris Cyborg. We knew her contract was going to be up in March. We knew this. Okay. And we also knew that Cris, they were possibly trying to get or restructure a contract for her. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I'm not inside Cris Cyborg's camp, but to me, it just seems like the future for Cris Cyborg in the UFC just seems very bleak. And the reason why I say that is because they've completely just, well, they've taken the 145-pound division off of the map, okay? All of those people in the Tough House, none of those people have been signed. I mean, they've been signed, but nobody is listed in the 145-pound division. They listed them all as bantamweights. So it's like, okay, the future of the 145-pound division in the UFC is bleak. Cris Cyborg's future is bleak. And also, you know, people like Megan Anderson. And you know what? And I'm going to tell you something, man. See, had people like Megan Anderson had done what I suggested, and just, man, look, you got people that was calling Megan out left and right after she got beat by Holly Holm. See, Megan's defeat at Holly Holm could have been something that could have been lucrative, because there were a lot of fighters in Invicta, okay, that was like, look, I can whoop Megan Anderson's ass now. See, part of this, you know, it's not all Megan's fault, it's not all Chris's fault, but it's most of the UFC's fault. But I just thought that Cris was doing all that she could to try to promote this division. Cris Cyborg went to the tough trials, you know, trying to help promote that division, trying to bring some light to it. And, you know, Cris, they picked up on it real quick what was going down. Cris Cyborg knew, wait a minute, what the hell going on? Wait a minute. You know, Zero Dos Santos not getting signed. Okay, you had Zolia Frosto not getting signed. You know, Liz Phillips is a legit featherweight now, wasn't getting signed. You had some of the OGs, man, that wasn't getting signed. Pam Sorensen, you know, who's a good fighter, wasn't getting signed. You know, they put on exciting fights, man. And, you know, when all these OGs ain't getting signed, you know, Cris Cyborg like, wait a minute, what the hell going on? You know, Cris, after she gave them girls that dinner, Cris bounced. Cris got the hell out of Dodge, okay? I don't blame her, because she knew what the UFC was up to. You know, Cindy Dandois, you know, she ain't get signed. But, you know, the UFC didn't like her anyway, man. Because of the way she performed against Alexis Davis. And then also some other stuff. She called Sean Shelby a problem penis, which, you know, that probably didn't go over too well. But see, a lot of times, man, you can get fighters, man, to help build a division. They had some good veterans come into there and try out for that show. But they knew, man, they knew it was also a foreboding for what was going to come. That's why those legit featherweights didn't get a chance at the tough trial, because there was going to be no 145-pound division. That's what it was. And they knew that those veterans couldn't even get down to 135. They knew that. So here lies the situation that we're in now, okay? They were looking for a reason to out Cyborg, okay? And honestly, Amanda Nunes winning the belt, it basically, guys, that stuck a knife in a 145-pound division. It's gone. It's gone. I don't know what they're going to do with Megan Anderson. I don't know if they're just going to give her a couple of junk fights and then release her. I don't know. It just don't look, it looks grim. I don't know what kind of deal they're going to restructure with who. Like, who are they going to put her in there with? Who are they going to sign? I mean, the only other option she got, okay, is Megan Anderson and Amanda Nunes. That's it. That's it. They're not going to put anybody, they're not going to try to move anybody up. It just don't seem like the UFC is doing a whole hell of a lot to try to get this division up and run. No, because if they wanted to, they would have already done it. They would have done exactly what they did with the flyweight division. And I'm going to tell y'all something too, man. There is a bias. There's a huge bias with thick women. It's a huge bias with thick women, man. Like, what the hell? Like, when you 145 pounds, you thick. Okay, because you know you're going to walk around at about 160, 165. Boy, you thick. And, you know, I just feel like the UFC, they don't want to see the heavier weight classes with the women, because they got to keep up some damn image, man. They got to keep up some damn image of these little petite little women that these simps like, you know, and it's gonna cost them. Look, man, they could have built a division out of the 145-pounder. They could have built that division, and man, we could have been seeing knockouts galore. Cris Cyborg is the biggest draw in women's MMA. Why the hell wouldn't you put talent around the biggest draw? Guys, that's just how it is, okay? Cris Cyborg is a bigger name than anybody in the strawweight division. She's a bigger name than anybody in the flyweight division. She's a bigger name than anybody in the bantamweight division. She's the biggest draw in women's MMA. I mean, guys, it would have made sense. You had some people talking a gang of stuff, man. You had people calling out Cris Cyborg. Those people, you could have built a good division, and there was a storyline, there were rivalries. The 145-pound division could have been something. Now, the reason why I have the Bellator symbol, the emblem up here, is because with Cris Cyborg being the biggest draw in women's MMA, you know, in my era, I thought, well, Bellator can't afford to pay Cris. Yeah, they can, because Cris Cyborg is going to bring numbers. So they could afford to pay Cris Cyborg what she was making in the UFC. If I'm Cris Cyborg, I'm having a conversation with Scott Coker. I'm like, look, I will bring my fan base to you. My fans, they're going to follow me. And you know damn well, we following Cris Cyborg. If Cris go to Bellator, guess what we going to do? We going to go to Bellator, we going to buy pay-per-view. That's what Coach going to do. I guarantee you, I will be buying pay-per-view. I don't care. $9.99 for the zone. I'll pay $9.99 to watch Cris Cyborg. I sure will. Cris Cyborg will bring her fan base. Look, Cris off jump going to bring 300,000 people. Cris going to bring 300,000 people off tops. Okay? If I'm Cris, I'm thinking, I got Scott Coker in my mind. And I'm like, Scott, let's work this deal out. Okay? If you equal, because there are people at Bellator she can fight. There is a list of featherweights at Bellator. The division is established. They got a champion. Cris can go up there and fight for a belt. Man, Bellator seems like a viable option, man. It just do. And I can't see at this point, man, what the UFC is going to do for Cris Cyborg. I can't see it, y'all. I can't see it. And it's like, you know, are the people at the UFC, are they this damn stupid? You got a draw. You put Cris in there with a good name. 350 to 400,000 pay-per-views easy, okay? Then you get some more people on the card, okay? You can probably get 500,000 or 600,000 pay-per-views out of the whole thing. Like, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? I guarantee you Scott Coker could take Cris Cyborg, make her a success. Like, I just think Bellator, their women's MMA program, is so much, it's 10 times better than the UFC, to me, in my opinion, okay? Bellator can't pay well, but I tell you what, man, they put on a good show. And it seemed like the matchups, to me, are better placed. They got people that they're trying to bring through. You know, they got people that are established. They got people, like, people are getting title shots at the right time. You know, we don't have to sit here and speculate. It's not a beauty contest to Bellator. It's who deserves to fight for the title now. That's the Bellator mindset. I mean, I don't think there's any other option for Cris Cyborg. I mean, where's she going to go? To one championship? They don't have an established 145-pound division. I mean, where's she going to go back to Invicta? No. No. I think Bellator is a viable option. I don't even know. Nunes, I mean, now, this would mean there would be no Amanda Nunes rematch if she goes to Bellator. It's not going to happen. I don't think Amanda would, unless. Now, Amanda Nunes is all about the money, okay? Scott Coker would have to offer Amanda Nunes, you know, a 7-figure payday to get her in Bellator to fight Cris. I can't see Scott doing that. But I do believe Scott Coker would pay Cris Cyborg. Cris Cyborg will get a bag going to Bellator. Okay, it's all an economical money thing, man. But the 145-pound division is dead. They killed it. But we suspected that. A lot of people were saying that. Roger Allen kept saying that they're probably going to kill that division. You know, we were all saying that they're going to kill a division, because when we start seeing that there were no people literally being put in that division after the Tough Show, I knew that the division was dead. So I don't know, man. I think they're probably just going to let, you know, if the UFC, I don't know. And if they sign Cris, what the hell are they going to do? Like, who the hell? I mean, are we going to get to see a Nunes rematch? I don't know. I mean, here's what I see. They'll sign her. They'll do this, okay? It'll be a 2-fight deal. Okay? She'll fight somebody else for her last fight, right? Okay? On this contract. She'll fight somebody. Then she'll fight Megan Anderson. Then she'll fight Amanda Nunes at the end of 2019. That's my prediction. That's what I see. And after that, man, what's left? Okay? And then we don't even know if Amanda Nunes, if they'll offer Amanda enough money. Okay? We don't know. Guys, there's so much stuff in the balance when we talk about this whole Cris Cyborg. Guys, I'm going to drop another video tonight on my thoughts and probably the course of action, man, what should happen. I'm going to do a whole breakdown on why Bellator probably is a viable option for Cris Cyborg. You guys tell me what you think. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harris, and I'm done. What are you waiting on? Support the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.